the cloud. There we go. Okay. Welcome everyone to our monthly Collaberex workshop. Um, Today we have Bill Prinzivalli, whose arm I twisted to do this workshop on meditation for conscious leaders. And let me
What
just,
about unconscious leaders, Jonathan?
I think this is more of a subconscious leaders.
Okay.
So Bill is, I'm going to read from his bio because it's amazing. That will take me about a half an hour, and then we'll start with it. No, I'm
Not necessary.
kidding. Bill is an entrepreneur, executive coach, organizational consultant, author, speaker, improviser, and program creator slash facilitator. He has a vast array of experience in developing corporate and business strategies. In addition to his business acumen, I'm cutting this short, Bill. Bill has vast experience in the areas of mindfulness, communications, and improvisation. He's also a certified adaptability coach and a voice dialogue facilitator. And he integrates all these practices together and they add up to this workshop. So, welcome, Bill.
Great. Thanks, Jonathan. Thanks, guys, for being here. Good to see everybody. I'm going to jump right in. Um, yeah, I mean, the purpose of this is it's an experiential exploration. Okay, so we're going to get into experiences as in addition to some explanation of what it's all about. And the whole purpose really is to get us to this state where we're not reacting emotionally to things, where instead we're coming from a place of being centered, of being aligned, of being conscious, so that the decisions we make and the replies we make to people are much more productive and effective. All right. So in this, I'm going to give some theory, talk a little bit about the science, talk a little bit about the myths, a little bit about history, but also give you several different styles of meditation that you can employ, many of which you can employ in just a minute or two. All right, which is what's frequently necessary in the middle of the day. I mean, yeah, typically in the beginning of the day, you might do a longer meditation, but when you're in the middle of the day, in the middle of the fire and the stress, how can we from that point get our system calmer and more centered and more conscious so that we can make better decisions? All right, that's the real key for the business folks. So, just a quick show of hands. How many people meditate, have ever meditated? Just, yeah, okay. How many people meditate regularly, like every day or something? Okay, but all right, great. Okay, so good. So we'll jump into this, and so what I want to first do is let's take a status of where we are now. So get a piece of paper and a pen, and just say quantitatively from 1 to 10, what's your stress level now? Between 1 to 10.
10's the highest.
10 is the highest, and don't
Okay.
think about it too much. Whatever number pops in your mind, that's it. We're done. Okay, next question is from the qualitative point of view, um, what's your state of being? How are you feeling? Are you feeling anxious? Are you feeling tired? Are you feeling overwhelmed? What is that? And again, just a couple of words just to get us to the starting point. Okay, so I don't want to get into 20 minutes of theory. Instead, I want to jump right into an experience first and then start to intermix the theory in between. Okay. So if you would get into a comfortable position, which usually means, feet on the floor, in some sitting erect position. Lying down is okay, but a lot of times people fall asleep when they do that, which is why they don't recommend it. Of course, it's best to have your spine pretty straight, from the top to the spine to the bottom. And of course, shut your phones off and however you can, give yourself some private space right now. And it's best if you can close your eyes so that you can go inside. Then first just take 2 or 3 deep inhalations and deep exhalations. And when you do, just bring in the life force energy. And when you exhale, exhale any kind of stress or tension that might be in the body. Now just notice your body. Nothing to do, just notice it. Is it comfortable? Is it stressed? Is it achy? Are you hungry, thirsty? Are your eyes relaxed? Are your shoulders relaxed? Just notice. Nothing to do, just notice. And notice the sounds around you. Is there an air conditioner blowing right now that you can hear? Are there voices in another room you could hear? Are there noises outside you can hear? Just notice all of the sounds around you right now. And now notice your breath. There's an in breath and an out breath, and a pause in between. Just notice it. Is the in breath longer than the out breath? Is the pause in between long or short? Just notice it. Notice your chest as it expands and contracts. And when you're ready, slowly open your eyes. And just notice what you wrote down on the paper a moment ago and compare it to how you feel now. And just jot down any differences. All right, so that was just a brief meditation, just jumping right in. And it also served to help us all get down to a vibration that's calmer. So thank you for that. In terms of some information, the history of meditation goes back many, many years. We all know the yogic traditions go back to 3,000 or 5,000 years old. But even before that, tribal organizations, really tribes, uh, they always sat around the fireplace, right? And if you notice, that is a wonderful meditation you can do in 30 seconds, right? You can just look at a flame and just notice how it flickers, how it moves. And within 30 seconds, you can fall into a state of meditation. That's one of the simplest ways you can do in the middle of the day. There are many like that, which I'll share with you later. A recent client of mine, I told him, I said, before you go into a big meeting, take 1 minute to meditate somewhere. Go to the restroom, go get a cup of coffee. For him, he said, I need to be outside. Too great. Go step outside, look at the trees, get calm. Then come into the meeting. 1 minute, you can do it. So there's many, many meditations you can do in 1 minute, which I want you to have in your bag. So meditation has existed for hundreds of thousands of years back into the old tribal traditions. Currently, the Zen, the Buddhists, Taoists, the Christians do it, the Sufis, modern neuroscience, anything that's contemplative, quieting is really a meditation, right? At the base, they all have this. In terms of the science, and this is important, I want to share this with you. Science has shown, can I share my screen, Jonathan? I think I can,
I
right?
think you can. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. All right. Assuming you can see this, guys. This is what science has shown in terms of they've measured the brain waves in different states of being. So they measure it from 0 hertz per second up to 18 plus. And obviously they can have delineated this in any number of ways, but this is a fairly popular way to delineate it. Where like the lower hertz of 0 to 4 is what they're defining as delta state. But it's a state of deep relaxation. It's when we're sleeping. It's restorative, all right? It's healing. It's when the immune system gets healed. The next state is the theta state. And that's the state of meditation, deep insight, intuition. That's the state that you were just in a moment ago and possibly still in it now. The next state is the alpha state, where we're still calm, right? But it's a relaxed awareness, clear thinking. This is where creative problem solving comes into place. That's when we're in the present moment, right? I'm probably more in an alpha state than theta state. Even when we were meditating, you were probably more stronger in the theta state. I was probably somewhere between theta and alpha because I was leading and thinking about what I wanted to say, right? So I was probably in a little higher vibration. The beta state is the state that we're in very frequently during the day, right? That's a state where we're active, we're working, we're creating problems, we're solving problems, sometimes creating, we're planning. The active mind, it's a little bit stressful. So that is really that state, right? And that's the state that I want to talk about in a second. High beta is really when everything is going crazy, right? Like, and there's I think a fallacy or an illusion that in business you have to be working at this frantic, chaotic state, right? It's high-minded, whether you think of somebody on Wall Street or whatever. There's a fallacy that is really the state we want to be in business in order to make the best effort. That's when we're multitasking, and science has already proved that that's not effective. That multitasking basically allows us to be in a surface mode in many different areas, but we're not focusing deep enough on any one area to be effective. So here's the key. The key is that most of the times we're in beta state during the day. We're working, we're concentrating. Sometimes we get into high beta, not great. But when we really want, the place we really want to be is in alpha state. That's the state we really want to be in. We want to be in a place that's calmer, that's relaxed, where there's enough space and calmness for information to come into our being, right? It's a space where we allow information to come in, just like in meditation. How often do we get ideas when we're in the shower, when we're walking along the beach, etc.? Why? Because our minds are empty and we're allowing space to come in, we're allowing information to come into our space. So that's where we really want to be. So the best way to get there is, first of all, to be used to what theta state is like. So in the morning, if you can get into theta state, okay, set yourself up for the day. Your body and your system understands what that theta state is. So then during the day, if we're in beta state, which we are most of the times during the day, if we're getting a little tense or if we need some clarity about something, it will be easier for us to get into the alpha state. Okay, let me calm down. Let me take a breath. Let me take a moment. Let me take a walk, because I really need to figure this out. I really need to solve this problem, and I don't have a good solution right now. Okay, so that's what I really want you to understand. I want you to understand this chart. I'll send it to you later. And I want you to practice being in theta as much as possible so that when you are in beta, you can more easily get into alpha to solve your problems, to be clearer, to be more centered, to have better communications, and to be more effective in our business leadership. All right, this is really important. Any questions on this? Okay. All right. Now, in terms of myths, there are a lot of myths about, uh, about meditation. And let me point them out to you. I'm going to go through that quickly. Okay. Here are the myths of meditation. Number one, you have to sit in a cross-legged position. Nonsense. You don't have to. You just have to be comfortable, as you were before. All right. Pretty straightforward. Uh, you don't have to meditate for hours. All right. You guys meditated for what, 2 or 3 minutes. And I presume I can see it in your faces that you got into a calmer state of being. And it only took a few minutes. Uh, Another myth is that you can't have any thoughts. That's crazy because we always have thoughts. So when they come in, just let them go. Depending on what type of meditation you're doing, if you're doing a mind emptying meditation, when the thought comes in, just let it go. All right. Don't tense up thinking that it's a bad thing because that's only going to bring you into a higher state, into beta or high beta. You want to accept it, relax, let it go. Meditation for Eastern religions, we know that's nonsense. And there's an exact technique to it. No, there's a million ways to get there. All right. And there's a million techniques. I've got 36 different meditations types in my book that you can look at. I have an article which I'll send you that has about 10 different styles of meditation. It doesn't matter how you get there. And yes, people from different religions can get there by contemplative prayer or by Sufi movements and prayers or by Zen Buddhist in terms of meditations. By any way you get there is a good way, right? The fears that you have is some people say they can't stop thinking or their mind races. That's okay, no problems, because there are different styles of meditation that I'll go over with you that will address any different challenge that you have. Don't have time? Nonsense. You could do meditation in 2 minutes, right? And in 1 minute. And the more you meditate, the easier it will be for that 1 minute to be effective. All right. I've been meditating for 50 years. So yeah, I need 1 minute. And if I need to, I'll go into another room, take 1 minute, sometimes even 30 seconds, and get my brain waves down to an alpha state. All right. The more you meditate, the quicker it will be to get there. 1 minute, I promise you can get there. You can't sit still, no worries about it. Again, because there's different types of movements. So I want to go through the different types of meditations and then we'll experience each of them. But at this point, I just wanted to take a minute for you guys to share either what your thoughts are about this or what your experience was at the beginning of this meditation. So we'll hear from a couple of people. And yeah. Jonathan.
So, I mean, I thought that what we did after about 20 seconds, for me, I mean, I meditate every day or almost every day. I do. But after about 20 seconds, I did feel that things slow down and calm down, and I notice things more. When I meditate in the morning, I meditate for 20 minutes or so, 20, 25 minutes, depending on what I play a song. And it takes me longer to get to kind of clean out the thoughts and not having them dominate what my thinking and have my brain go in one direction or another. It takes focus and a while. And then when I do it, all of a sudden, like the first 3 minutes or seem so long, and the last 17 minutes go by in a second.
So just you have things on your mind in the morning. Is that the concern?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I
Mhm.
like to when I meditate, I used to try and have a specific intent,
Mhm.
and that didn't work for me.
Mhm.
Instead, I just meditate for the purpose of meditating and slowing down and just calming down. not to accomplish something.
Yeah. There's so many different styles of meditation. I mean, my meditation now in the morning is a little different. I do a lot of active work besides the listening. And the active part for me is all about visualization and creating, creating my life type of thing. But then I always have time to do the other, which is to sit and listen. So I try to mix it up. But I know early on, uh, I was only taught to just listen for 20 minutes. But I mix it up now. Anybody else? Who's one or two other folks, and then we'll move on.
Can I make a comment about Pierce's meditation that he did at the retreat?
Mhm.
There was something about that, doing it in a group in person, that seemed to really affect everyone.
Yeah.
Do you?
Actually, without a doubt, meditation in the group is so much more powerful. So
Yeah.
much more powerful. Uh, I mean, I know there are words in the Bible about 10 people getting together type of thing, but yeah, when you meditate in a group, that energy really spreads out and very, very potent. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Robert, you were going to say something? Yeah.
Yeah, what are the challenges that I have? I realize everybody's brain, you can't wipe thoughts out of your brain. They just keep coming and so forth. And I learned to meditate a long time ago, and it was always the mantra was not mantra, but the method was always observe it, let it go. Almost, and my visualization is quite often a river that is rapids flowing by, and small drops of water are the thoughts, and they just go by, and you just watch them because you're not in it, and that kind of thing. But I fall asleep because that's how I fall asleep at night.
Yeah.
Is that's what happens
Yeah.
to me. So how do it's always been a challenge.
Yeah.
I know you're going to
Yeah.
tell me to go to bed earlier, but besides that,
Yeah. You know what? Falling asleep is not a problem. All right. I know a lot of people that do that. They do fall asleep, but what you've done is you've moved from the either high beta or beta through alpha and through all of those frequencies that we talked about. So you were clearly in this state of meditation for a while, and you're going into the state of deep relaxation. That's okay. I would not worry about that. Now, the question is, were you lying down? Is that why you fell asleep? Or were you sitting in a chair? Were you exactly
no,
exhausted? Did you have a
no.
big
Typically,
meal?
no. Most often, I'm sitting in a chair and I concentrate on breathing. Actually, like Tai Chi breathing kinds
Yeah,
of
yeah,
things, and that helps with focus. But even that, I find myself just
yeah. That's okay. Would not worry about it at all. Right?
Oh, don't get me wrong. I'm not worried. I'm just saying
Okay.
that's
All
my
right. Well,
challenge.
a couple things to think about is sometimes people do that if they have a heavy meal or if they've had I mean, in the morning, it's probably less of a chance to fall asleep would be my guess. Have you tried it in the morning?
Yeah, no, I just fall asleep.
Okay, so that's fine. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. All right.
I
All
can
right.
add, I can add to that. And Bill, I know you're going to be
Please.
telling us many different types of meditations. And so the breath meditation is the main one that we tend to learn here. But there are thousands of different meditations. And I too cycle through a good dozen, depending on my mood or whatever needs, really. But there are some very active,
Mhm.
multi-sensory meditations that keep you engaged with mantra and mudra and breath um,
Mhm.
and gaze, that can definitely help with the falling asleep part as an
Yeah,
alternative.
thank you,
And
Ricky. I
I
appreciate
I think I fell asleep the first 6 years I meditated, maybe seven, maybe 10. And then I just stopped. And now I never fall asleep.
it.
So I don't know. I got more used to it, maybe.
Thank you, Ricky. Appreciate that. Yeah, in fact, that's really the next thing that I wanted to do is I want to talk about at least three different styles of meditation. All right. The way I look at it is there's the traditional sitting meditations, which everybody understands and knows about. Then there's active meditations, and Ricky's talking about some of them, and I'll talk about a couple more. And those are for people that say they can't sit still. They can't quiet their brain. They can't do that. So we get into moving meditation, and you've seen some of them. You've seen people do Tai Chi in the park. and qigong and different movements, that type of thing. So there's moving meditations which are more active, and then of course there are guided meditations where if you prefer, you can have someone guide you and lead you through a meditation. All right, so it's like three classes of meditations that I like to just present simply. So let's try a couple of them. All right, so let's try all. We're gonna try all three of them. What I'm gonna do is um, is ask you to just sort of notice what's happening. I mean, I'll guide you through some sitting meditations, then moving meditations, and then guided meditations. All right. In a sense, a lot of this will be guided and see which ones you like better. All right. So again, we'll do this for a bit of time here. So why don't you get comfortable? Again, if you want, if you can put your feet on the floor, if that's comfortable for you, relax in it. Close your eyes. That would be great. And then just follow along and just relax. So first, I would just say, notice your breath. All right. So breathe in, breathe out. Notice the in breath. Notice the pause. Notice the out breath. As you do that, notice your chest, if it's expanding, contracting. Notice your belly. Just notice. Now picture someone in your mind's eye in front of you, someone that you love. Could be a friend, a relative, spouse, a parent, or a pet. Any living being that you have a deep love for. See that being in front of you. And notice the smile that might be expanded on your face. But put your attention on this being. The joy that you have when you see this being, that you're with them. Who they are, what they mean to you. Their connection with you. Their love for you. Thank them for who they are and for their relationship to you. Now put in your mind's eye the year that you were born. And just recognize the beauty of that year, that this was the year your being was brought into creation. This was the year your soul came into the human existence. Notice the numbers. And have appreciation for that wonderful year that you were created here on this planet. Now notice your breathing again. The in-breath, the out-breath, the pause in between. Now notice your two hands and take your thumb and connect it to your middle finger and rub them together. And just notice the fingertips. Are they rough? Are they smooth? Can you feel the lines that define the fingerprint? Is there an indentation? Are they cold? What's the temperature? Just notice it as you rub these two fingers together. Now look at your hand. Extend the fingers out and then tighten them into a ball. And just notice how the fingers move. Sort of automatic. You're not asking each part of your hand to move, but somehow there's an intelligence where the hand is curling and uncurling just by your intention. Now take one of your hands and make a figure 8 in front of you with your hand, like in a flowing motion, like you might see someone doing Tai Chi or Qigong. Just make a figure 8. Notice your arm, the shoulder, how it automatically moves. Feel the temperature in the room with your hand. Feel the flow of energy that you're creating with this figure 8. And then if you can, without much disruption, stand up in front of your computer and feel the floor. If you can do this without disruption. And take a step or two forward and then a step or two back. If that's not convenient, then just rock back and forth. And notice your foot when you're stepping forward and backwards. Is the heel coming down first? Is the toe moving you forward? Is your ankle comfortable? Is it strong? What is the surface of the floor? Is it smooth? Just notice what your body is doing as you're directing it to this exercise. And when you go back into your sitting position, do it gracefully and smoothly. As you can imagine, doing Tai Chi movements. And notice each part of your body as it's moving in slow motion. Notice how amazing the body is with its intelligence on how it moves and reacts to your intention. And as you get back into your seated position, notice your body. From the top of your head, notice your head. Is it relaxed? Is your mind quiet? Your face, is it calm? Are the muscles in your jaw relaxed? Then notice your neck. Is it relaxed? Is it a little stiff? Is it achy? Just notice it. Nothing to change. Your shoulders, are they relaxed? Are they aligned? If you wish to move them slightly, feel free. Otherwise, just notice. And then your chest and your torso. And put your attention to your stomach. Is it comfortable? Is it relaxed? And your hips. That support you all day. Are they relaxed? Are they comfortable? Your thighs, your knees, your calves, your ankles, your feet. Just scan your body from head to toe. If you'd like, you can imagine a beautiful source of energy coming from above into the top of your head, coming down through your body, fully down to your toes and beyond. If you'd like, see that energy from above as healing energy, as beautiful, beneficial energy coming down a little at a time through each vertebrae, through each part of your body, nourishing your body, relaxing it, healing it. Going down from your head to your neck, to your torso, to your heart, to your stomach, to your hips, to your feet, and down to the center of the earth. See yourself connected through this energy from the heavens above to the center of the earth. See this energy healing you. See this energy as it connects you to all parts of the universe. See this energy expand from you outwardly to fill your room with beautiful white or golden light. See this energy interact with the energies of everyone else on this call. See this great bubble of energy uniting us, connecting us, and move it beyond this call. to all space around us, wherever we may live, anywhere on this planet and beyond. See this as we are all connected. Appreciate the beauty of life. Appreciate the source of energy, wherever it may come from, that gives us life, that nourishes our hearts, that allows us to love ourselves and others, that connects us to others in a state of pure love. And whenever you're ready, you come back to the room. So what's everybody doing? I know we don't want to talk too much, but I want to give you a taste of different styles of meditation. There are so many. As Ricky said, there are thousands. Some are sitting, some are moving. Robert, you were talking about from sleep, moving meditation, so wonderful. Tai Chi, Qigong, or just doing figure eights with your hands will get you to a meditative state. There's so many different ways to get to this state of being. And the more you practice it, the faster we can get there. And in business, there are many times, of course, of stress. So how do we get back to a state of at least alpha state to be clearer, to make better decisions, and to lead consciously, to be conscious in who we are. To be conscious really means to just be aware of ourselves and what's going on in front of us. And when we can do that, we'll make better decisions. So is there one particular meditation, for example, that worked better for you than another? I probably touched on about a half a dozen only, but is there any particular one that stood out for you or whatever you may wish to share? The floor is open.
I find I'm always much more comfortable with movement. So I've never done a figure eight hand, but I do love the reflection on not just the movement, but the temperature and just how I exist within space. Like there was this experience of me being me, but also beyond. Like the space was a continuation of the movement that I was a part of. So that it just it expanded the way I experience myself.
Thank you, Jeff. How did you do, Robert?
I like to concentrate on breathing, diaphragm, and chest. It seems to me the more I concentrate on breathing, for me, the more relaxed I can be. Your words are good and they help, but ultimately it's just what's happening inside my own body that calms calms my mind.
Mark
I
has a
got nothing
question.
else, Bill. That's
No,
all I
no,
got.
no, you're good. Hey, that's it. Mark, I'm curious. I know you don't meditate as frequently as some others, but how was this experience for you?
The deep breath, just the in and out that you started our whole session with today. I mean, that just put me in such a relaxed state,
Oh,
and but interestingly relaxed but alert. Like
okay.
I was more aware of your words, um, and yet I felt I was in a like I said, a more of a relaxed state. And it allowed me to focus better. Interestingly enough, and um, and usually that I try to periodically just do the deep breaths just in the normal course of the day,
Mhm.
just to stay relaxed, or when I feel myself getting too tense and maybe a little scattered, uh, just to calm things down again. And so that's always been the, the thing, the tool or the technique that works best for me to get relaxed. And it doesn't take long after that. I could easily fall asleep. So,
Yeah, yeah,
but which is a sign I'm relaxed. I believe so. Um, anyway, the interesting thing about it was being relaxed but focused. That's what I really noticed the most about that technique.
beautiful. Yeah, so the thing I would encourage is find a go-to for yourselves, whether it's rubbing your fingertips, whether it's taking a deep breath, or it's looking at a flame, whatever it is, doing a figure eight. Find two or three go-to moves for yourself that work, so that when you're really stressed out, when you're in that high beta state, you can get down to not just beta but to alpha, like Mark was saying, relaxed but clear. That's where we want to be. That's where we make our best decisions. Anyone else? I'm going to share my screen here for a final summary, because I know time is getting close here. But yeah, meditation, some people feel like it's just an escape, all right? But most of us here, since you've experienced it, realize it's not. It's learning how to be present in the space, all right? So I have a picture of here of a businessman, and rubbing your fingers, I just left that in there because some people like to do that. In fact, the positive intelligence people, Shazad uses that as one of his techniques. Like if you're at a meeting, you can just put your hands under your desk and rub your fingers together and try to get into that low space. That's fine. But the point is, pause, take a breath, notice, be aware, be conscious. That's the word I always want to use. Be conscious of what's going on in ourselves and around us, and then say, okay, I need a minute to refresh. I need a minute to get clear so that I can be calm and make some better decisions. Anyone else have some final thoughts or comments?
What I find that one of the keys for me, and when I notice this is happening, I try and avoid it, is as you said, under notice. It's without judgment. And that is key, with being being kind to ourselves.
Mhm.
As you said, it's not like you're meditating. There's no way to do it wrong.
Yeah, yeah, yes, I totally agree. And that only gets people stressed out if they if they try to say I did it wrong. Yeah, that's beautiful. Absolutely, it's total acceptance. So there's so many different ways. Every culture has their own way to get there. So however you can get there.
And every day is different. Every moment is different. So
Yeah, yeah.
I have a
How about
question.
you? Yeah.
Um, in a normal society that we have, the way we all function, everybody here is kind of the same. How how much of a part of your life can or should meditation be? In other words, is it a thing that you view as an athletic workout every day, or is it something that you do when you feel a little bit of stress? Clearly, it's going to take it takes practice to get better at it or more results. What's your opinion on that?
Yeah, I mean, my opinion is where do you want to live? You know, looking at this brain waves, you know, where do you want to spend your life? Do you want to spend it in high beta, beta alpha? You know, how do you want to live your life and where do you want to spend it? And as I said, there are some fallacies, especially in the business world, that says, you know, high beta is great, doing 1,000 things at once. Hello, Chicago. Hello, New York. You know, and that's a fallacy, absolute fallacy. So where do you want to live? So there's been a lot of over the years, right? When meditation first came over from India, which is whatever in the 50s, whatever, it said, hey, there's a better way to live your life. Meditation came into about. So I practice it each morning, and I try to help people with this. With the metaphysical community, it's not a problem. They know how to do that. So I'm trying to bring this to the business world, to people who are overly stressed and trying so hard. I mean, their hearts are in the right place, but they're trying so hard to make progress, to help their people, to help their customers. And I want to help them be better at that and less stressful, less burnout, and more productivity. So it's a way to live, really. I'm not sure I answered your question directly, Robert, but that's sort of my thoughts on it. If anybody else wants to do it, Pierce, Ricky, if anybody else wants to jump in, please.
Well, I think the reason for my question is I and I suspect I'm like a lot of people will decide to meditate and do it for a day, 2 days, 3 days fairly regularly, and then not for a week or 2 weeks or a month.
Okay.
And obviously to build the muscle or to get better at it or to gain the benefit from it, it's got to be done somewhat regularly. So, short of spending 40 days with no food and water in a cave in Tibet,
Mhm.
what do we do as New York as regular citizens in the New York City area? How do we deal with this? What do we
Well,
do?
well, you said it right. It's a muscle, and then I'll let Ricky give her opinion also. Like you said,
Let me
it's a
jump
muscle
in
that has to be
here.
developed. Go ahead, Ricky.
Yeah, first to what you said about how we do it for a day, we do it for a week, then we forget. That's normal. In fact, yogically, that's what we are. That we're in this game of remembering and forgetting and remembering and forgetting who we are. And so in meditation, that remembering and forgetting, that's part of the process. Um, you ask the question, do you do it or should you do it like when you need it or do you do it every day? The thing is there is that when you need it is the hardest time to do it. So we do it as a practice every day so that when we need it, we have access to it. So we do it when it's easy, harder to remember maybe, but easier to do. So that it is right there. It's right there. It's already in our system so that when we need it, we're more likely to use it.
Yeah. And the muscle part Robert, if you want to compare it to a physical level, if we need strength to pick something up, the best way to do it is to practice regularly somehow some strength building exercises, whether it's in the gym or regular at home, so that when we do need that muscle, it's available. Yeah, Jeff.
Just the it is something I was thinking about. For me, it's I never could meditate. Like I always had that the closest I could get is just go for a walk, and that was it. And someone said to me once that, just one breath, if you could really like in that breath is it, and it was like, oh wow, okay, like I don't have to sit down for 20 minutes. No, you just have to take one conscious breath and start there. And to me, that was like, okay, permission to be in that one breath and like, oh, that's enough. And it gave me so much less struggle about doing it right or getting a practice or all that kind of stuff. And then ironically, with that one breath, of course, you want another and another and it feels more accessible.
That's perfect, Jeff. And that's why, I like to put the myths out there, because there's a myth, it's got to be 20 minutes, it's got to be this, it's got to, no, no, no. Just drop all of that. Like I could say, one figure eight in 30 seconds can get you there. Perfect. Thank you for sharing that. Well, guys, I see the time is here. I want to respect everybody's time. So I just want to thank you so much for being here. It's always a pleasure for me to be with you guys and to share. So I thank you.
Thank you, Bill.
Thank you, Bill.
My pleasure. All right, guys, have a great day.
All
It was
right.
awesome, Bill.
You too.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Bill.
Thank you, Deb.